This is the dissection of the cubital fossa. The first slide is a demonstration of the cubital fossa. This image is the anterior view of the elbow region, where the skin is removed to expose the superficial structures of the cubital fossa. The cubital fossa is a triangular depression in front of the elbow joint. In this specimen, we can see the contents of the superficial fascia, which forms part of the roof of the cubital fossa. Let's check its orientation: superior, inferior, medial, and lateral. We can identify this as the superior end by looking at the biceps brachii, which is a superficial muscle of the arm. And if we trace the biceps brachii, it continues as the tendon and aponeurosis. Tendon of biceps, not seen clearly, as it is a content of fossa, and what we are seeing is the roof. So we can appreciate bicipital aponeurosis, or lacertus fibrosis, which forms part of the roof of the cubital fossa. This broad sheet separates the superficial from deep structures, and it reinforces the cubital fossa, helps to protect brachial artery and median nerve, which are running underneath. Let's discuss some of the superficial veins. The cephalic vein is on the lateral aspect, and the basilic vein is seen in the medial aspect. These two veins are communicated by an obliquely running vein median cubital vein. The median cubital vein is the vein of choice for venipuncture and site for intravenous cannula, because the vein won't slip away during needle insertion as it lies superficial to the bicipital aponeurosis that stabilizes the vein. The other reason is that it has a wide lumen and is easily accessible. The bicipital aponeurosis separates the median nerve from the medial cubital vein. This protection is important during venipuncture. Let's also consider cutaneous nerves. On the medial aspect, termination of medial cutaneous nerve of arm and medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. The nerve which passes behind the cephalic vein is the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which is the terminal continuation of the musculocutaneous nerve. This is the image of the same specimen after removing the superficial fascia and veins. We can see clearly the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which becomes superficial after crossing the biceps brachii. The tendon and aponeurosis of the biceps are seen clearly here, and the aponeurosis blends with the deep fascia of the forearm. And, as you can see here, one more cutaneous nerve is present, which is the posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm, a branch of the radial nerve. It perforates the lateral head of the triceps to become superficial to innervate the back of the forearm up to the wrist. Cut ends of a perforating vein and basilic veins are seen. Further, we would remove bicipital aponeurosis to expose the contents of the cubital fossa and demarcate its boundaries. These boundaries are medial, pronator teres, lateral, brachioradialis, base, an imaginary line connecting the epicondyle of humerus, and apex, meeting points of medial and lateral boundaries. Consider the contents from medial to lateral. The median nerve which passes between two heads of pronator teres, the brachial artery, along with its venae comitantes. The brachial artery divides into radial and ulnar arteries. Ulnar goes deeper, whereas the radial artery is superficial and is observed at the lower part of the cubital fossa, the tendon of biceps brachii, and cut part of bicipital aponeurosis. And the superficial branch of the radial nerve is also seen. Further, we remove contents to see boundaries more clearly. The medial boundary is formed by pronator teres, where it gains origin partly from common flexor origin, medial supracondylar ride, and medial epicondyle of the humerus. And further, it runs obliquely towards the radial side. Lateral brachioradialis. The biceps brachii muscle is removed, and the cut part of the tendon is observed deeply. Brachialis is well demonstrated as we removed the biceps. Brachialis is a deeper muscle of the arm, which forms the upper part of the floor of the cubital fossa. We can also observe it converges deeper to insert into ulnar tub. The proximal limit of cubital fossa, which is considered as the base of the triangle, is an imaginary line connecting the medial and lateral epicondyles of the humerus. In this particular specimen, the boundaries are retracted to expose the other floor muscles. Next to the cut end of the biceps tendon, the muscle here is supinator, which is pierced by a branch of the radial nerve. The supinator forms the lower part of the floor. Just next to the tendon of the brachialis, the radial nerve divides into posterior interosseous nerve, the deep branch of radial nerve, and superficial branch. Posterior interosseous nerve perforates the supinator to enter the posterior or extensor compartment of the forearm. This completes the demonstration of the cubital fossa.